What if I told you that you've never made a single decision in your entire life, that every choice, every thought, every beat of your heart is nothing more than a wave in the infinite ocean of universal consciousness? Are you ready to discover who is really looking through your eyes? This idea may seem absurd at first glance, but stay with me. Since you were born, you've learned to call this body me, this voice in your head, my mind, these feelings, my emotions. We've built an identity so solid, so convincing, that we've forgotten to ask the most fundamental question of all. Who is this I that's doing all of this? When you think, I am thinking, who is observing that thought? It's like an eye trying to see itself, a knife trying to cut its own handle. Hindu philosophers called this Atman, Buddhists called it Buddha nature, Sufi mystics called it divine essence, all pointing to the same truth impossible to be seen directly, but which can be recognized when we stop looking. The truth is that there has never been a you separate from the rest of existence. This feeling of being an isolated individual, navigating alone through a strange and indifferent universe, is the most convincing illusion ever created. And you are not the victim of this illusion, you are the universe pretending to be a victim of it. Think about how a wave in the ocean can feel separate from the water. It has its shape, its movement, its story of birth when the wind created it, and its death when it breaks on the shore. But is this wave really something different from the ocean, or is it just the ocean expressing itself temporarily in that specific form? You are that wave. Your personality, your memories, your fears and dreams are the unique form that the universe has taken at this moment, at this point in space-time. There is no real separation, only the appearance of it. And this appearance is so perfect, so immersive, that the universe itself believes in it while playing as you. But here's what this really means, and pay attention because this is the part that changes everything. If the universe is playing as you, then all your failures, all your achievements, all your pain and joy are not really yours. They belong to the universe experiencing itself through infinite perspectives, and you are just one of them. Now you might be wondering, if I'm not the one in control, then why do I feel like I'm choosing? Why do I carry the weight of my decisions? That's the big question, isn't it? You feel anxiety before an important decision. You regret past choices. You plan the future as if you could shape it with your will. All of this seems so real, so intensely personal, and it is real, but not in the way you imagine. Think about your thoughts right now. Did you summon them? Did you decide to think the next thought that will come to your mind? Of course not. Thoughts simply appear, like clouds passing through the sky of consciousness. You don't control your emotions, they arise in response to stimuli. You didn't choose your natural talents, your family, the country where you were born, the historical era you're living in. And if we go even deeper, you didn't choose the brain structure that processes information the way it processes, the neural patterns that determine your reactions, the chemistry that influences your moods. So where exactly is this you that's supposedly in charge? The uncomfortable truth is that free will may be the greatest illusion of all. But don't panic yet, because this truth is also the most liberating. When you understand that you're not a separate individual desperately trying to control your life, but the universe itself unfolding through this specific form, something miraculous happens. The weight of existence begins to diminish, because if you are the universe, then you cannot fail. Every step you took, every mistake you made, every moment of shame or pride was exactly what needed to happen for the universe to experience this specific facet of existence. There are no victims and there are no villains, just the entire cosmos dancing with itself in billions of different forms. Have you ever felt those rare moments of total presence when the incessant voice of the mind finally quiets down and you simply exist? In those moments, who is present? It's not your personality, it's not your story, it's not your thoughts about the past or worries about the future. It's pure consciousness, the silent witness that has always been there, observing everything. This consciousness is not yours. You are its. Or better yet, you are it, temporarily forgotten of itself, lost in the character it's playing. If this idea has already resonated with you, imagine what comes next. Subscribe not to miss this journey, because what I'm about to share now can fundamentally change how you experience every moment of your life. The beauty of this understanding is that it doesn't require you to change anything. You don't need to become enlightened, reach a special state, or follow complex practices. All that's needed is to recognize what is already true. The universe is already playing perfectly as you. Your task is not to improve the game, but to recognize who the player is. And when this recognition happens, even for an instant, everything transforms. Your worries don't disappear, but they stop having the existential weight they had before. Your problems don't vanish, but you realize they're part of the plot, not threats to your real existence. Because you can't really die, you are life itself. You can't really fail. You are the entire process. You can't really be alone. You are everything that exists experiencing itself. See how this applies in practice. When you're stressed about work, who is stressed? The real you, universal consciousness, or the character you're playing? The character may be stressed, but you, the observer, are always at peace, just watching the stress like you watch a movie. When you feel love for someone, it's the universe loving itself through you. When you feel fear, it's the cosmos exploring the experience of fear through this specific form. None of this is personal, but at the same time, it's deeply intimate. This doesn't mean you should stop caring or become apathetic. On the contrary, when you understand that you're playing a cosmic game, you can play with more passion, more creativity, more courage, because you know that the real you is never at risk. It's like an actor who can perform intense tragedies on stage because he knows that when the curtains close, he'll be fine. You can experience life in its totality, with all its pain and beauty, because you know you are the entire theater, not just the character on stage. The great spiritual masters throughout history tried to transmit this truth in different ways. Jesus said, "I and the Father are one." Buddha taught about anatta, the absence of a separate self. Rumi wrote, "You are not a drop in the ocean, you are the entire ocean in a drop." Nisargadatta Maharaj stated, "The experience of I am is the subtlest veil over reality," all pointing beyond words to that which can only be recognized, never truly described. And here's the deepest secret that few understand. There is no path to this realization. There is no ladder to climb, no technique that guarantees awakening. Why? Because you already are it. The universe cannot become the universe. It already is. You cannot reach what you never stopped being. The spiritual search is the universe playing hide and seek with itself. And the end of the search is not finding something new, but recognizing what has always been here. But there's an even deeper secret that few know. The true revolution doesn't happen when you understand this intellectually, but when this understanding becomes your lived experience, moment to moment. And this cannot be forced, cannot be conquered. It can only be allowed. It's a surrender, not an achievement. It's stopping trying to be the universe and recognizing that you already are. So here's the final revelation, the truth that connects everything. You're reading these words now, but who is reading? Your eyes are processing symbols, your brain is decoding meaning, thoughts are arising in response. But something deeper is happening. There's a consciousness witnessing this entire process. This consciousness has no form, no history, no preferences. It simply is present, observing. And this same consciousness is present in every human being, in every animal, in every atom of the universe. It's the only consciousness that exists, looking through billions of eyes, thinking through billions of minds, feeling through billions of hearts. You are this consciousness. not your version of it, but consciousness itself. When you look at another person, it's the universe looking at itself. When you feel compassion, it's the cosmos healing its own wounds. When you create art, it's existence expressing itself through this particular form. There is no difference between the observer and the observed, between the dreamer and the dream. You are the universe dreaming that it is you, and when you wake from this dream, you'll discover that there was never anyone to wake up. Only the awakening happening infinitely, eternally here and now. This is not a philosophy to be believed or debated. It's an invitation to look directly at your own experience. In the next moment of silence, when there are no thoughts, when there is no story, when there is no you trying to be or become something, ask, who remains? What is present when all the narrative disappears? This presence you find is the universe in its purest form. And you have never been anything but this. Everything you thought you were was just a story happening within this vast and limitless presence. The good news is that you don't need to get rid of the story. You don't need to destroy the ego. You don't need to stop being human. You just need to recognize the space in which the entire story happens. And in that recognition, there is a freedom that no external achievement could bring. Because you finally understand that there is nothing to conquer, no one to impress, no final goal to achieve. The universe is already complete, playing infinite games with itself, and you are one of those games. Play well, play with passion, play with love. But never forget who the real player is. If these words touched something deep in you, if you felt even for an instant a glimpse of this truth, leave a like so more people can find this message. Comment below how this perspective changed your way of seeing life, and subscribe to the channel because this journey to self-knowledge is just beginning. Share this video with someone who is suffering with the weight of being a separate person, someone who needs to hear that they are the entire universe playing hide and seek with itself. Until the next meeting, remember, you are not in the universe. You are the universe, and you always have been.